Hey everyone, it's Captain Harris. Welcome back to the channel. So, as we all know, Iron Maiden is not touring in 2027. Don't know what they're doing in 2028.
But they are touring in 2026.
We all assume that the set list is probably going to be the same, you know. I thought that somebody had said that the set list isn't changing. Nigel corrected me, and I searched, and I couldn't find the interview where that was said, so I guess I was wrong on that, but I did find the press release for this year's tour. Bruce is like, oh yeah, we're playing 2 minutes and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and stuff. So he named off like all these songs. So it was like half the set list. So we know it's unlikely to change this year.
It's not going to change.
And therefore, there's not a whole lot to speculate on for a long time on.
So now we have to reach a little bit because we wanna imagine things.
Yes.
So Nicko Mcbrain is playing with Titanium Tart.
Yes, just announced a tour, if you want to call it that. It's a few weekends over the span of a month, and they're actually going out of state for the first time, which is very cool for them and for fans outside of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that he's Florida-based. The restaurant's down here and everything, so that's where his parties are. But this is the first time he's going to venture outside of Florida. Not very far outside of Florida.
No, we're slowly expanding.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be cool to see him do like a little East Coast tour, you know?
He is this time going out to Georgia, playing Atlanta.
Jacksonville's a new one, too.
Yeah, that's a new one a little further north. So that'll be awesome. And, we're hoping that this time around, we get a few different songs.
Yeah, I expect them to mix up the set list. And, this idea came about because I was on the treadmill doing my cardio, and, I've mentioned before, I need these high-paced songs. And I was listening to The Mercenary, and I'm like, Nicko could 100% nail this song.
Yeah.
It is not a difficult song. It has not been played in 25 years, and I was like, we should come up with like a little wish list. And I know his set lists are a bit shorter than Maiden's are, and I'm sure he's gonna keep quite a few of the same songs, obviously, because you got to have some of the fan favorites in there. But we just wanted to talk about some of the songs that we would like to see make it into like the Titanium Tart set list this year.
And by the way, not to like bring up I was going to say conspiracy, not to bring up controversy, but I don't know if you saw, like, there was a bunch of comments about, like, oh, well, now he can tour? So now he wants to do a tour?
I don't think that anybody, like, read the articles and stuff and saw that it's just weekend shows.
I thought he wanted to stop touring. I thought that's why he left the band.
It's just, like, 5 weekend shows, 4 of them within his home state. Like, yeah, Maiden's doing, like, nearly 60 shows from May through December, I think, or November. So, yeah, a little bit different, guys.
A little bit on the easier side, I think, for the Titanium Tart guys. But anyway, I think it'll be fun to just kind of go over some ideas that we had of, like, if we were to see, or if you guys were to see Titanium Tart with Nicko, if Nicko picked the set list, and, we expect a lot of the songs to stay the same, but for ones that we would love added in there, we got a little carried away on what we would like to see.
Of course, so. And, like, the problem with Maiden is we don't know what's coming next. I really don't think that they're going to do, like, a 2000s tour again, so there's a lot of material there that I would love to see covered that I know Maiden's not going to cover, and I feel, again, I looked for this quote too, couldn't find it, but I'm pretty sure if it's Rod or Bruce or somebody said that, like, quite a few of these songs won't be played again. So it's like, okay, that's closing the book on quite a few songs in the set list, meaning, like, there's not, like, an illustrious amount of shows ahead of them, so...
For Maiden, right?
Yes, so it's like, I can't speculate, like, yeah, Maiden's gonna play, like, a bunch of stuff off of Brave New World and Dance of Death. It's like...
Yeah, probably not. So, let's get started. And do you want to... Obviously, we know one of yours is going to be The Mercenary.
Yes.
So why did The Mercenary come in? You said you were doing cardio, so...
Yeah, it's such a good high-paced song. Obviously, they haven't played it in, like, 25 years. And, like, I don't know, I think that Paolo would do a really good job at the vocals, and it would just probably come across really well live.
And specifically the drum part, is what caught me off guard in, I guess, that song in the past. Yeah, that got me good, so I need to hear that live.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely recognize it this time.
Why don't you just read your list off? Because I went to my notes app where I wrote my stuff down. Oh, it's a mess.
Okay.
It's a mess, so I'll just let you read off yours first and start everybody off with a very nice...
This will be very nice.
Yeah.
The Talisman. Of course it's long. He's totally capable of playing long songs. He's been playing Mariner, and I hope it stays in the set.
And not that I don't think Paolo could handle this song, but I wouldn't want to do that to Paolo.
Paolo can do anything.
I know. Listen, I said not that he can't do it. I know he could do it, but that song sounds like torture to have to sing.
Nah, no problem.
All right. Well,
Talisman. I don't think it's too difficult on drums.
No,
it's definitely a difficult song on vocals. But
yeah.
I believe in Paolo, and I don't think that they're gonna pull this song out. This is just look. One of my favorite live recordings of the band ever is the Talisman from En Vivo. It's just it's faster than the album.
Yeah.
It's Bruce's like best performance in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I would love to see such an eclectic choice be pulled out for a Titanium Tart show.
Yeah.
Followed by Judas Be My Guide, which we bring up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a banger, and it's a short song. Wouldn't be any issue for anybody in the band to play, and I think everybody would be like, "Oh wow, Judas Be My Guide! I didn't expect that one." Next, I would really like to hear "Lost for Words."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this has never been played live, so as far as I know, somebody will correct me and say actually they played it in 1984 one time and was never recorded. Maybe so, but I didn't see it. I'd like to see Nicko play that because, again, it doesn't
matter if it's never been played before. If it hasn't been played in a really long time, like Mercenaries, 25 years.
Well, it's also like Bruce just played Flash of the Blade.
Yeah.
Which is a song really never played on Power Slave. So why not Nicko pull out Lost for Words, which is all, instrumental. We can focus on the drums and everything. So
to be fair, Flash of the Blade was a Bruce song, so, he had a big reason to want to play that one.
Sure, but anyway, Lost for Words. Still Life.
That's on my list, too.
Would be awesome. I mean, we bring this song up all the time.
Well, it's almost a little... I know he didn't write it, but it's like, Nicko intros the song with his weird, like, reverse burp. He could do that live. He could reverse burp live?
Yeah, he could do a reverse burp. It wasn't a burp, was it? He was doing, like, an accent backwards.
Yeah, he did an accent. The beginning of the song is him burping.
I don't think it's him burping.
It is burping. Guys, back me up on this. He said if you reverse it, it's him saying his lines and then he burps at the end of it.
Okay.
What is that noise at the beginning of the song, if not a burp?
Well, I don't know, but...
Guys, back me up.
I'm not saying that there's no burp. I didn't know about the burp. But
it's the first thing. The song opens with a burp.
I just thought it was him doing an impression of somebody and then it's played backwards.
It is, and then he ends that backwards playback with a burp, and that's what intros the song.
See, we're still learning things here.
You're still learning things. Do not drag me into this.
I'm still learning things here. I would love to hear "Call Somewhere in Time" again.
Yeah.
And we know that Titanium Tart played it for a couple of years straight because he kind of used it to get ready for the Future Past tour, but it's just so good.
I love that song, but for taking the place of something that hasn't been played in a while, I'd probably give it a pass.
I get it. I'd also love to hear "Dance of Death" if we were to trade out "No More Lies" for "Dance of Death."
Yeah,
that would be a good a switch out because I love "Dance of Death." We've seen "Dance of Death" live back in 2011. Mm-hmm. But I would love to see it again. I'd love to really just watch how he will play it now.
Paolo can have the mask and the cloak.
Exactly. It's right
spin
up his
around.
Mm-hmm. We need to get Paolo more. You need to build things for Titanium Tart. You need to make all the outfits, and you can just be Eddie. No. Okay. I held back, and Adam, you'll thank me for this. I was gonna put a note at the beginning of this saying, I think you should just play all of A Matter of Life and Death from front to back. Of course we can't do that. So I picked one, and I picked The Pilgrim because of that great drum intro. Yeah. It's not a song people talk about a lot, but if he played The Pilgrim, I would freak out.
I would like to see them do like a celebration of set. And it would be similar to the other guys in Titanium Tart minus Mitch are in a band called Made of Metal, and they do these sets that are focused on specific bands, like they're going to be doing one soon, is specifically focused on 80s Kiss. What I would like to see Titanium Tart do is do like a celebration of Brave New World.
Yeah.
And play all the tracks that you feel comfortable with on Brave New World, and then, you know, obviously throw in stuff like The Trooper and Number of the Beast, you know, just crowd favorites. But I would love to just see, like, a set list that has, like, a focus on, like, a celebration of a matter of life and death. Stuff like that.
I'd love to hear The Trooper. Yeah, I totally agree. And that could go on for years.
Or even just, like, a celebration of, you know, the post-reunion era, you know?
Exactly.
The new Millennium Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Just something like that. There's so many songs that I would just love to hear.
Exactly. I would also love to hear The Clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite Boots and Cats
mm-hmm.
beat from Nicko. It's very, like, unmetal.
Yeah.
In the drumming department, but it just works so well. I'd love to see him play that now. I would also love to hear Out of the Silent Planet, because why not? Who wouldn't want to hear Out of the Silent Planet from either Maiden or Nicko or anybody to do with that song? And then my last song is kind of an obvious choice, but I would love to hear him play Hallowed.
Yeah.
Again, he hasn't pulled it out since 2022.
Yeah.
When they played it, but
that's really the like only Clive era song that I must see him play.
Well, he
just put his like own
everything into
flavor onto it that I just love.
Yeah, and that's again nothing against Clive.
No.
Like I love what Clive did with the song. And, you know, Nicko's version has just been played so much more over the years and been put on live records for decades.
It's made its little etch into my soul, so...
Yeah, whenever I hear Hallowed, it's just that beat is in my head.
Yeah.
The way he plays it. But that's kind of my ideas of songs that could be pulled out and switched around and, you know, be kind of a surprise for people.
No, it's kind of tough because again, it's a shorter set list, and you know that quite a few are gonna stay. Like for instance, I don't want to see Moonchild or Rhyme leave the set list.
No,
those two are like keep them there. I could eat those songs up every week.
Those two are good. I feel like all the others I could see a change out.
Yeah, like Parchment. Again, I love Parchment, but I feel like I've had it now. I've had my taste of Parchment live, and I'm very happy to have had it. And I was like, what could they do in the place of Parchment?
Yes.
In Darkest Hour, and you know, things like that.
Yeah.
So my list was a little messy. I was just kind of like tapping around through the week, and didn't really make a big list like you did. But my first one was Still Life. We kind of already went over that.
Yeah.
But also Lord of the Flies for a little bit of 90s flair.
Lord of the Flies would be awesome.
And I was talking to Logan the other day about this too, and I believe that was one that was on his list that he would have liked to have seen, you know, see them play.
Yeah.
On this tour, and I don't know, you know, I think that it would be cool to hear Paolo do the Bruce version of that song, obviously, because that's who he emulates on these shows, and that's what I would expect him to do.
Paolo emulates Paul still when he does Paul's song, so why couldn't he try a bit of a Blaze?
Because Blaze is such a departure from both Paul and Bruce, in my opinion, and I think that the Bruce version of the song would suit him better.
Possibly.
Not that it matters, because they're probably not even going to play that one. And then I had Mercenary. Obviously. Like, you get it. So I listed a few from Dance of Death, and obviously, like you said, Dance of Death would be amazing. But I also put down Journeyman. I think that Journeyman would be a good swap for Darkest Hour, because they're both, you know, slower songs. They could break out the grandpa guitar, the acoustic guitar. I think it would be awesome, nice, and, you know, maybe not so easy for Paolo, but, you know, a simpler song for the rest of the band to play. Monsticker.
Not so simple a song.
Not so simple a song, but they never played it, so, you know, in the spirit of Parchment, seeing a song that was never played live before would be cool.
Yeah, Monsticker would be a real shock, and most of the people there would be like, is this a Maiden song?
Yeah. And I wrote down 20th anniversary of Matter of Life and Death this year, so I think that they should include a song from it just for that fact alone. I said I would be happy to hear anything off the album, preferably not For the Greater Good of God if we're just going to get one. I'd love to hear it again, don't get me wrong, but if given the choice, I would say anything other than that, except for maybe Different World, you know.
But
So,
if you could pick, which one would it be?
I wrote down either The Legacy or Benjamin Brieg.
Oh, Brieg.
Because I think
cool.
those are two songs that, Nicko could handle. I would have said Lord of Light, but I don't know. That one's got a lot of, like, big rolls and stuff in it, so.
I think he can figure out anything.
I know he
really.
could, but just what he would be confident with.
Yeah.
What he'd be confident with, and I feel like Legacy and Brieg are two good options. Don't get me wrong, I would love to hear The Longest Day, The Pilgrim, These Colors Don't Run, like, anything. Anything at all from that album, really. And then I wrote down Final Frontier. Like, I was just thinking of all the songs. I really can't see them playing anything off that.
Talisman? Please.
Again, I really can't see them playing anything off that. My personal picks would be Starblind or Isle of Avalon, because selfishly, those are my two favorite songs from the album. Never played them before, so another cool, like, Parchment opportunity. But I wouldn't expect those to make the set list over other things.
Eldorado might show up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know they're not going to play Eldorado.
I don't think that, unless they did like a celebration of the 2000s, I just don't think that Final Frontier would make a set list.
Well, that's the 2010s, so.
Whatever. I didn't put anything from Book of Souls or Senjutsu because I feel like they're a bit too new.
Too new.
And, like, maybe Speed of Light. Like, he played that, Writing on the Wall. Those two could make it back, but it's not that I want to see them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've seen them very recently.
Yes.
Obviously, there's lots of stuff from the 80s and that as well, but I feel like, that gets into, a bit faster, a bit more complicated, because they were all,
crazy
back in the 80s.
Well, at the end of the day, they figured a way to play Toss 'Em More in Time, so
I know.
There's a possibility of anything, really, if they really decided to go for it, But, we believe in them.
I mean, Seventh Son, any of the more obscure songs would be cool, but again, keep Moonchild, please. Love Moonchild in the set.
Infinite Dreams, even. Keep Infinite Dreams, That's awesome. But it's just, it's something extra that we get in this part of the country, at least, where, they get a lot of Smith and Coxon over on the West Coast, and
they only got him on the West Coast once. He hasn't toured that much.
All right, not a lot, but they got some. We got none. And Steve's in the Bahamas, which we're not going to. So we have Nicko here. Mm-hmm. So this is what we're going to do. And it's going to be fun. And I'm sure there's tons of you that still haven't seen Titanium Tart or Nicko in like a smaller venue or anything. And it's a riot. It's great. I mean, he gets up there and he'll tell 100 stories. And tell
all the same jokes he always tells.
Love them. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, if you're anywhere in the area, I know this is actually overcomplicating things for a few people on, like, the forum and Facebook, because he's doing this tour, like, during the Maiden US tour. So there's people that are like, oh, I'm from Florida, but I'm going to be out of town because I'm seeing the band in New Jersey. And I think there's quite a few people that can make... I think the Atlanta show is kind of close-ish to when the North Carolina show is, so there's some people that are, like, making it work. So for some, it's, like, a bummer because, like, shows overlap, and for others are, like, able to actually make shows work.
Yeah, no, it would be tough if you had Maiden tickets and then you also want to see this. But
luckily, my only US Maiden show is 2 days after their last show, so I'm good.
Yeah, we just kind of skated by. I've been like, okay, we could see all of these if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a cool little extra thing of like, ooh, well, he played Parchment and he played No More Lies, so it kind of gets you thinking of like, what else could he play? Because he's got full reign to play whatever he wants.
I mean, he played Rhyme.
Yeah.
That was a shock. So.
Yeah, Moonchild was awesome. Like, they haven't played that since 2014.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely 2014.
Sure, yeah.
Was it 2014? Yeah. Yes.
That's really all I've got. Anything else from you?
No, nothing from me.
All right. Well, it's a bit difficult to like be like, oh, this is my speculated set list, or I want them to play all these songs for something like this. So this was just a few of our hopes and dreams and wishes for one member of the band to play,
Yeah.
for one member of the band to play with his side band that also plays Iron Maiden songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing to really speculate on right now.
Yeah.
Of, like, what could happen.
You know us. We like to speculate.
know.
And I just don't... There's nothing to really speculate on with Maiden other than Nebworth, which we kind of already did already, so... Damn it, I needed a little bit of fun.
We're dreamers.
Well, that's all we've got for today. I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you to our Patreon members for your support, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
That'll do, won't it?
Yeah. People will love that.